Now to the political question here. The administration is getting involved. The reason may be as much political as economic. It could be this whole issue of value of real estate, a pivotal election issue. States with some of the highest foreclosure rates were actually swing states that narrowly went for Bush in 2004. So how might housing issues play out in the 2008 election? Joining us, Dan Gerstein. He's a Democratic strategist who blames Republican policies for the mortgage mess, or at least some of it. And from D.C., Carrie Lukas, vice president of the Independent Women's Forum. Dan, first to you, why do Republicans get the blame here?
Well, I think this is part of a larger problem for the Republican Party, which was really on display at the Michigan debate that they recently had. You have 7% unemployment in Michigan. A third of the automotive industry jobs have been shed. A lot of economic anxiety in the middle class. And Republicans were in la-la land. They weren't mentioning that at all.
Now, we should mention, by the way, that Michigan was one of those swing states that went Democratic in 2004. So it's not like the Republicans would lose Michigan.
No, but it's indicative of a larger problem, which is they are out of touch with the economic concerns of average middle-class families. And that's what doomed first President Bush in 92.
But you're saying out of touch. What specific policies did Republicans implement that made this housing mess worse?
Well, I don't know if it's so much of it's made that policy worse.
So it's perception you're talking about.
Well, it's perception, but it's the response. It's the optics of the response. And Democrats have been very aggressive to responding to this. Well, whereas Republicans have been very kind of lax and saying, well, the market can handle it.
I got you. But, Carrie, one of the things about this housing mess that's kind of intriguing is it really affects everybody. It affects everybody from the poorest people who are being offered these ARM, the adjustable rate loans, to the rich people who are trying to flip properties real quick based on the value of real estate. So from the lower class to the middle class to the upper class, everybody's involved. And isn't it therefore kind of politically neutral?
Well, I think we need to be careful when we talk about solutions to this, because this is, after all, this is the market at work. And if the government comes in and starts trying to bail out, use taxpayer money to bail out some, that has real costs for others, and it can actually make the problem far worse. You know, when a problem comes up, and as we've seen now, the real problem was that there were some bad loans that were going out, and now people are having trouble paying them. If we reward that, it's going to basically take away the disincentive to do it again in the future. So I do think that this is something where we need to, wait and see. It's absolutely a bad thing, or it's a sad thing that has to happen. But you can't have government coming in and just starting giving away money. And let's remember that money comes from somewhere.
Well, money was being given away. That's one of the problems. I mean, because of some people blame, and let me put that to Dan, the Federal Reserve Board for making money so cheap, and Alan Greenspan admitted that he did some of this. That's what really caused this crisis to begin.
Well, I mean, I think that is too complex to kind of address the concerns of the average voter.
You make money cheap to borrow, and you get mortgage plans like we've got.
My point is just in terms of the political implications of that. I don't think either side is going to be pointing to the Fed as the villain here. I think there's going to be a battle for the hearts and souls of the hearts and minds of the middle class voters here, and I think the Republicans are going to be on the defensive in large part because this fits with a larger pattern on health care.
Well, it happened under their watch.
Well, it happened under their watch, but there's been a lack of action and a lack of responsiveness.
Quick last word from Carrie. Go ahead.
The American people don't know that this isn't something where the policymakers are supposed to come in and take care of. When you look at the list of concerns that voters have, housing markets are not at the top of the list. They want a growing economy, and we have a growing economy.
But housing concerns may end up